Hi everybody, it's Jeff here with another video in the Master of Failure series. I'd like to take you back today to your school days. And I wonder if you remember having a subject that you were good at, and when the teacher asked you a question or asked the class a question, you wanted to be the first one to answer that question. You had your hand there, you were waving it frantically in front of the teacher, trying to grab their attention. Please, miss, please, sir, let me answer and show everybody how clever I am. I think we all had that experience. The reverse side of that is, and for me it was science, I did not want the teacher to ask me any questions in science. If a question was put out to the rest of the class, what would I do? I'd avert my eyes, I'd try not to look at the teacher, I would pretend that I was thinking really hard about this question. Because if you've ever experienced the laughter from a class where it's a slightly mocking laughter that you've made a mistake, then that memory can stay with you for a long, long time. It could even happen in your family. I had an incident as a child where we were playing a family board game, and it was one of those things, and I gave a stupid answer. Everyone in the family laughed at that answer. I didn't like it. I was made uncomfortable. And from that moment onwards, I've never liked playing board games. That memory has stayed with me so long that it's affected me. I don't want to play board games. And so the reason I'm honing in on this today is to show you where the fear of making a mistake comes from. It will come from some incident in your childhood, whether it be in the family or whether it be at school or just in amongst friends, siblings, something like that. But now you need to look at, how is that affecting you now? Do you tiptoe through life, walking on eggshells, afraid to do what it is you want to do because you're fearful of making a mistake? Now, if I told you today, as you're driving your car or walking along the pavement, to look out for blue cars, what would you end up seeing? You'd end up seeing probably an awful lot of blue cars. What we think about expands. So if you've got the thought of I must avoid mistakes, if you've got that in your head, if that's part of your mindset, you'll attract mistakes. You'll see mistakes. You'll see traps that you could fall into, which will mean a mistake will result. What we think about expands. I can't emphasize that enough. And so the purpose of this video today is to say we need to be aware of the fact that we're scared of mistakes, and we need to dilute and erase and stop worrying about mistakes. How do you do that? Well, I've got a whole course on that to help people overcome that. But for the moment, one thing we need to do is relax about mistakes and know that a mistake is never forever. It's not a finite thing. And that's the trouble. When you do fear failure, you do think a mistake is going to affect your life forever. It's going to be something that's going to stay with you and affect you always. I mean, what is there in your life at the moment that you're not doing because you fear making a mistake? What is it holding you back from? What mistake do you think you're going to make? Because quite often what the mind gives us is a total lie. Have you written down whether this mistake in your head is actually going to be a mistake? And so the mistakes people are fearful of when they come to me for coaching are things like there may be a person who wants to go into a relationship, but doesn't want to make a mistake on a date. They don't want to wear the wrong thing. They don't want to say the wrong thing. They don't want to pick the wrong restaurant or the wrong pub to meet in. And they get so caught up in the possible traps, the possible mistakes, that they just go, oh, sorry, I'm not doing dates. I'll just try and find a relationship online. And then they've cut off a possible supply of that relationship that they're looking for. People who want to start businesses, they get so caught up in what should the logo be? What should the name of my business be? Websites, marketing brochures, everything gets overanalyzed, overthought about in the effort to avoid making a mistake. Now, yes, all of these things are integral in starting a business. You need them. But if you made a mistake on a logo, a few months down the line, change it. If you get feedback that the logo is not very good, change it. It's never that much time and trouble to change something. You always have the freedom and the ability to change. The thing I get asked about an awful lot is business cards. Should they be single-sided, double-sided, black and white, colour? What should I put on them? It doesn't really matter. Just get on, make a decision, and choose. The great basketball player Michael Jordan said, "Once I make a decision, I never think about it again." People that are afraid of making mistakes make a decision and go back on that decision time and time again because they don't want to make a mistake. When my partner and I first went into business, the printing business, there was actually a third person, a third partner. He was the technical guy. He was the technical supremo, very good at actually doing the printing, doing the work. He's clever at that. But as a business person and as a business partner, he was a nightmare. When big jobs, big work came in, he just wanted to leave at 5 p.m. and go off and have his social life. And so my partner and I would stay all night, work through the night, do the work and satisfy the clients. He was negative, right from the word go, negative about our clients, negative about our suppliers, just not very pleasant to be around. Was that a mistake in taking him on as a partner? You could call it a mistake. After 18 months, we put a package together, waved goodbye, and we got rid of him. Mistakes are never irredeemable. You can always sort them out. And great entrepreneurs and people who achieve in life always know that whatever comes up, they'll overcome it. And so when mistakes come up, they'll overcome them. I made a mistake, if you want to call it a mistake, when I first went into property. The guy who sold me my first two properties, he really did pull a fast one on me. When you go into property, you should look to buy them BMV, below market value. I definitely bought my first two AMV, above market value. He sold them to me at a far higher price than they were worth. So I could view this as being a terrible mistake. Oh, what an idiot I am, a failure, a klutz, a loser. That's how I could view myself. Now, I've had those two properties for 15 years now. They, at the very minimum, they have netted me £1,000 profit every month. 12,000 a year, 15 years, that's £180,000 that I would not have had if I thought, oh, I'm making a mistake here. This is a business I don't know enough about. He's pulling a fast one on me. Don't go there. Don't do it. There's £180,000 that I would not have had. I've recently had these two values, as well as the rest of my portfolio, I've had them valued. These two properties have gone up by around about £200,000 each. Do you see that this is, if I'd thought these were a mistake, if I'd been fearful of making a mistake, that's £380,000 times two that I would not have. You have to just take the action. You have to stop being fearful that you'll make a mistake. Mistakes are not these huge things that we think they are. So if you're wanting to change your job, if you're wanting to start a new project, if you want to start writing, speaking, going into property investing, starting a business, committing to a relationship, if you're wanting to start at a new gym or start a new sport, please don't let the fear of making a mistake stop you. Dive in, jump in, do it. Action trumps fear. Now, if you want more strategies, if this is a real problem to you in life, if you want more strategies, help and support in taking away this fear, if it's more deeply entrenched than this video addresses, then there's a link in the bio underneath that you can click onto, and I'll give you some more information on how you can overcome your fear of failure. Thank you for listening. I hope you found it useful. Speak to you soon.